warming up, trying to get loose, get ready just in case, and we will find out right away who takes over at quarterback for the Eagles, as they will get it. Thrash takes it from the 10. James Thrash, nice move out to the 30 and beyond. A return of 22 yards. McNabb is headed off to work, and let's go back to the play that caused the injury.
And the ruling was that McNabb was not down by contact, but you're going to clearly see that Michael Rucker is going to take off the shoe of Donovan McNabb. So there was contact. Now Greg Favors doesn't know that, so he comes in and jumps on McNabb. But if the officials had seen that it was down by contact, would have been a penalty there, but none called.
So that is the official word. They played on. They're not initially ruling him down by contact, and now McNabb hands off to Staley. I would imagine we'll see plenty of Deuce Staley in this second half as he's ridden out at the 40 by Deion Grant. We look at the halftime numbers, and the one that we highlight, sacks. Carolina having only 2 a week ago at St. Louis, already 4.
Yeah, and I really believe that Philadelphia, they've got to get back to running the football. Deuce Staley in that first half averaging over 7 yards a carry, comes out there and picks up 8-9 yards on the first carry here of the second half, and they've got to be able to take some of the pressure off Donovan McNabb. Obviously, if you're going in and you're getting x-rayed, it is a concern.
Second down and 1. First down Philadelphia. Deuce Staley. His legend will only grow, Donovan McNabb, if he can somehow lead this team back. They're only down 7-3, but the immediate history of this team is they'll hang around. They won't look great, like what happened last week here against Green Bay. He caught fire. The team got hot, and they won it in overtime.
And, you know, ironically, it might actually play to their advantage. If it gets them back to a running game and Deuce Staley does get hot here in the second half, it will set up things for the passing game. And it's not really something that typically you see out of the Eagles, a real focused effort on the running game.
It's all on the ground. This time it's Buchalter. He got 2.
Well, and the other part of that, Joe, is if there's anybody who can play through an injury, I mean, it's Donovan McNabb. We've seen that over the years. Think back to last year when he broke his leg, and yet he continued to play against Arizona through the 4 touchdown passes, and what he has endured through the early part of this season with the various injuries that he's had. He's accustomed to playing through some pain. You just wonder how much the rib injury will affect him throwing the football.
And I think you can see the pain in his eyes. I think that just looking at him, he just doesn't look like the same vivacious person that you typically see on the field.
Blitz. Out of the backfield. Nice catch. Staley down the sideline. First down inside the 35, knocked down at the 34.
And this is what Carolina just has not had an answer yet. They bring linebacker pressure again inside. You're going to see these guys go, and nobody accounts. You're going to see Dan Morgan. He's trying to get over to cover Deuce Staley. He thinks Deuce Staley is going to stay in and block because they're bringing the linebackers. He does not. In essence, it was a hot route to Deuce Staley, and Dan Morgan couldn't get over there to cover him.
But you come back after running the ball 3 straight times, and then the play action, then some of the passing game starts to work, and Deuce Staley with another huge play.
Handoff, Buchalter. Cramming it right at the Carolina defense, a gain of 9.
And a good job there by Todd Pinkston on the outside, blocking Ricky Manning, which allowed him to get up inside of that block and pick up some key yards. And Todd Pinkston has been much maligned throughout this season. He's played very well here as of late, but you see he's making key contributions in the running game as well.
And they're running right behind John Runyon. John Runyon, a huge guy against Julius Peppers. And watching the film of the first game between these two, I thought Runyon wore him out pretty good.
Buchalter strings it out, has a first down.
And we've seen Philadelphia be able to get to the outside a few times now. Mike Rucker, the defensive end to that side, he's got contained. He's got to get up the field and make sure that he keeps everything to his inside. But Trey Thomas is able to get out and hook him. And then, of course, you've got John Ritchie, the lead blocker. but they're able to get on the corners right now. That's got to be a concern for Carolina.
Well, you get the wide receivers cracking back on the outside and creating that edge.
Now they're working on Freddie Mitchell. Buchalter. A nice gain on first down of 5 yards. Peppers on the tackle.
Well, that's a tremendous running play there, because what you're seeing is once you establish the outside presence, and that time they come with an outside running look again, and then you cut back behind it, you get those fast linebackers, Dan Morgan, Will Witherspoon, and those guys really flowing to the ball. Then you cut back behind it, some nice running lanes.
Going to get pounded, throws it away, and McNabb was hit and hit hard by Minter. The whole stadium was watching that thing develop, held their breath as McNabb took the shot.
Yeah, and you're going to see Todd Pinkston, Ricky Manning, he gets physical with him, which is the MO coming into this game. He throws him on the ground, and that's who Donovan McNabb was looking to get the ball to on the rollout to his right side.
I tell you, Ricky Manning, for a rookie, understands this game. In the playoffs, that was holding. There's no question about it. He grabbed Pinkston's jersey and slung him to the ground, but in the playoffs, typically you don't get those calls like that. So Manning out there taking full advantage and beating up these receivers.
And we saw how slow Donovan McNabb was to get off the ground.
On third down, there's Manning again, another pick. Some miscommunication there with Pinkston, and Manning gets his second of the night.
Well, there's no question that Ricky Manning has a knack for being around the football. He's playing them inside technique, leverage.
That's
I don't
terrible.
know what Pinkston was doing.
Terrible.
Obvious miscommunication right there between Donovan McNabb and Todd Pinkston.
7-3 Carolina.
Nobody does it like Southwest Airlines. We always have low fares, even at the last minute.
You are now free to move about the country.
If you're just joining us, the referee bolted into the locker room some 15 minutes ago.
Oh, he's back.
I apologize for the delay. Due to the complexity of the penalty, I had to leave the field to consult an official rule book. After a thorough reading of the rules, I have determined that the play stands as called. Let's restart the clock.
Oh, finally, that took forever. Whoa, what's that? That looks like a flag nobody's going to be picking up.
I think it's two-ply.
The meeting's at 8. We got 5 minutes to get there.
Go around this guy. He's not even moving.
With the class-leading 250 horsepower V6 engine, the Saturn Vue can get you to the meeting on time. Unless you turn on the 6-speaker stereo. Get 0% APR financing for 5 years on most new 2004 Saturn Vue models. See your retailer for details.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
It really looked like the Philadelphia Eagles at the start of the second half were coming out, making a statement. 9 plays, 51 yards. It ends with another Ricky Manning interception. His third of the postseason. Second tonight. First down, Carolina. They hand the ball off. Out across the 20 is Davis. A nice gain on first down of 6 yards.
Todd Pinkston, the unpardonable sin right here. When you have a slant on, you have to stay that route no matter what. When he jumps back out to the outside, Ricky Manning with an easy pick, that is simply awful by a professional wide receiver.
No question, Donovan McNabb thought he was going to run the slant route. It appeared that Todd Pinkston was running a slant and go.
No excuses. You blew it.
Second down and 3. tosses to Davis, and he runs ahead for a first down to the 29.
And I thought it was interesting, John Fox's remarks coming out at halftime saying that we're throwing the ball too much. We need to get back to running the ball. They only threw it 11 times in the first half.
Maybe that's too much for him.
Well, and they ran it 16 times. I mean, clearly they were running the ball much more than what they were throwing the football. But here they come out on this possession. They're running the ball and picking up yards.
Quick throw, setting up a wide receiver screen for Smith. Pro Bowler as a rookie, as a punt returner, did as much as he could, got 3.
And I think, you know, when you talk about Steve Smith with this team and what he's done all season long, not only has he made big plays, but he's made big plays at big moments in games, and it certainly has been true the last couple of weeks. I mean, his yards per catch average is astronomical. He's created a lot of plays himself, and so on a play like that, you're just trying to get the ball into his hands as much as you can and see what his athletic ability will allow you to do.
69-yard catch for a touchdown to win it in double overtime last week at St. Louis. 2nd and 7 to Sean Foster. Already has a fumble in this game, but his teammate Jermaine Wiggins picked it up that time. Here he hangs on for a 3-yard pickup.
Well, one thing that I do like that Carolina has done, of course, we talked about the injury of Stephen Davis and what he's gone through this week, but they've done a nice job of mixing in Deshaun Foster along with Stephen Davis and giving him necessary breaks over there on the sidelines. They haven't overloaded him, and you've got to believe that they're holding a little bit back in case they have to ride their horse in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 3.
Inside handoff to Hoover. Didn't get it. 4th down. Ike Reese, their top special teams player, on the top special teams team in the NFL, having to start in place of Carlos Emmons, made the stop.
And the Panthers love that little cutback type run, and that time they did a run blitz with Mark Semino. He jammed up the hole and allowed Reese to come over and make the play.
I think Carolina and their linebacker Brian Allen is asking for a measurement, and they're going to get it. They already have 4th down on the box. And it's 4th down. Andy Reid, head coach. Brad Childress, offensive coordinator. And I'm sure half their thoughts are with the health of Donovan McNabb and how much they can ask him to do. He has been pasted the last 2 weekends. First by Green Bay, and now again here tonight by Carolina. Nearly blocked, line drive punt into the wind. And it's down by Hoover out at the 36. Jake Delhomme just pleading his case for a measurement. It was short. Ike Reese making a play to stop Carolina. Philly has it down 4.
Utility. Breakthrough.
Meanwhile, on the 4th floor.
When?
20 minutes ago.
An internet worm.
And a sneaky one, too. Came from the inside.
But the guys from IT said we're safe.
It was caught by the network, automatically. They say we're fine.
How does something like that get in here?
Hey, Daddy, I downloaded a new game on your computer. It's really cool.
Protecting networks and everyone around them. This is the power of the network. Now.
Whoa. Digital widescreen high-definition TVs with digital auto convergence and HD component video inputs, plus high-speed velocity scan modulation. Don't touch.
Hey guys, check out the game in high def.
Sweet. Now pay no interest for 2 years or get 10% off all TVs $299 and up. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Best Buy.
This family's future son-in-law,
And we are getting married in 3 days.
is going to become their worst nightmare.
I haven't seen her naked yet, but I hope you could.
Thanks to Fox, my big, fat, obnoxious fiancé.
Got a naked dance for Randy. People say I got a nice butt.
The con begins after American Idol tomorrow on Fox.
The crowd has been quieted, say taken out, but quieted by the play of the Carolina Panthers and the 2 interceptions. After a 9-play, 51-yard drive to start the second half, movement along the line. We understand that Julius Peppers is out and on the sideline, and we'll try to get a report as to why.
Ball start. 72 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, the big thing right now, Joe, is that the Eagles have just got to take a deep breath and relax. I mean, they had a nice drive on that last possession, moving the football down the field, but these interceptions, and you just got to worry about this football team beginning to panic a little bit out here on the field.
Tough to take a deep breath if you're Donovan McNabb with bad ribs. A lot of short breaths. Buchalter, patient, but nothing really opened up, and a gain of only 3. Nice play by Deion Grant, the free safety coming up.
I'll tell you, that was a big stop that last time, though, by the Philadelphia Eagles defense. You get a turnover down there, a real momentum changer, and they get the ball right back for their offense. Remember in the game last week against the Packers, they were down 14-0, and essentially the Eagles defense held the Packers at just 3 points, essentially, for the last 3 quarters of that ball game. So we'll see if that one turns it.
Second down and 13, and the pass to the sideline is broken up, and it was Howard there, stride for stride, with James Thrash. 3rd down and long coming up.
And really a nice job there by Reggie Howard, and really clear across the board. I mean, again, these DBs for Carolina continue to challenge the wide receivers. Ricky Manning there on the outside against Todd Pinkston, and Donovan McNabb on that play had some time finally to try to find a wide receiver, but they are coming up at the line of scrimmage. They're pressing these wideouts, and they are mauling them coming off the ball. And so far, nobody's been able to shake them.
So much for the Carolina Panthers not having a good secondary. They're killing the Eagles right now.
3rd down and 13. McNabb guns it. It's in the air, and it's Manning again. His 3rd of the night. Ricky Manning is down to the 37-yard line.
Man, oh man, did Mike Minter lay a hit and cause that one. Manning was the beneficiary of it, but it was Mike Minter with a shot to James Thrash.
Ricky Manning Jr. becoming Ricky Manning the 3rd, his 3rd of the night.
I got customers coming in from 4 corners of the world. To them, this is the bank of US of A. Well, these are self-made individuals in this neighborhood.
We understand that and what that means. They have saved sizable amounts of money that they entrust to us, and they come to us every day for financial advice.
Some of these businesses are 3rd generation. Most of them definitely 2nd generation. As any merchant or shop owner, the first bank that would pop up would be Bank of America. I'm Hutchins Hung. I'm a banker, and I'm proud to be part of Bank of America. We're not too big of a bank, even to the smallest business. We still offer them the most sophisticated banking there is in this world. We're proud to be the cornerstone of the neighborhood. So when the neighborhood succeeds, Bank of America succeeds. I always have my breakfast here.
Try the rice cake. It's the best in the city.
Bank of America. Higher standards.
There's glory for the individuals who come together for a common goal. You tame the elusive beast of time and space, bringing together offices from every corner of the globe, working in real time, as if shoulder to shoulder. You have the new Microsoft Office system. Go team.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Bank of America, higher standards. By Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 38. By Cadillac, bold vehicles defying convention. And by Microsoft, your potential, our passion.
Manning, 3 interceptions. Ty Law for New England, 3 interceptions on Peyton Manning. And the 24-14 AFC Championship game. The winner of this game moves on to meet the Patriots. Toss to Foster. Big pickup on first down as Deshaun Foster got 8. Well, what a week I'm having. The Saturday evening effort at the end of the first overtime. And then in this game. 1, 2. This one fell into his lap.
And remember, he wouldn't even have been in the game but for an injury to Terry Cousin. But he played so well when he was in there, they basically left him in as a starter. And boy, has that been the right decision.
Foster changes hands, hanging on to the football as he is knocked out just inches shy of the 20 with a first down. Carrying the ball on the outside after breaking through the line just to protect it a little more.
Well, that's what you got to do. He starts up inside, and then the ball's in his right hand. He moves it to his left side, the outside arm, to protect it. He already had 1 fumble earlier in the game, making sure that it doesn't happen again. Going back to Ricky Manning, had a chance to visit with him before the game, and he said, we're going after these wide receivers. We're going to challenge them. We're going after them, and they certainly have today.
Foster and Davis out. Smart gets it. Rod Smart bouncing it outside. Even he on first down gets 5. You made the reference earlier, just so people know what we're talking about. He hate me. That was what was on his jersey as the world experimented with the XFL. The 1-year experiment, and now Rod Smart has had a pretty good year on special teams for Carolina. 2nd down and 5. Jump ball. End zone. Penalty flag. Smith was there. There was a lot of contact. And it will be pass interference against Philadelphia.
Good call, too. Lito Shepherd with his hands all over Steve Smith going down the field. Didn't get his head turned around.
Pass interference. 26 defense. Automatic first down.
Well, Philadelphia tries locking up on the outside with Lito Shepherd, and it's an underthrown ball again, Chris. They had an opportunity, if it was in the corner, to maybe come down with the catch, but because it is underthrown, that is the toughest thing for a defensive back to try to play. Now, Lito Shepherd never got his head turned back around to locate the football.
Matt Willig, an extra tackle, checks in. He is eligible. As is Shane Burton. Toss to Foster. Foster's fighting for the touchdown. What an effort. It looked like he was stopped 3 different times, and the second-year player who missed all of last year after tearing his left knee would not quit.
And how many times do we hear people draw comparisons with him and Stephen Davis and say Stephen Davis is the guy, the power runner. Deshaun Foster is the one who wants to bounce it to the outside. Deshaun Foster here definitely getting out on the edge, but look at the power and explosion that he shows here, carrying 2, 3, 4 guys with him to get the ball in the end zone.
But that's a pathetic effort by the Eagles. I mean, that's 4 guys with their arms and their shoulder pads and their helmets all over him, and they can't get him on the ground. That was pathetic.
4:11 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Casey makes it 14-3. The Carolina Panthers playing their game. Not surprised to be here. The Philadelphia Eagles and their fans have to think, uh-oh, is it going to be 3 in a row? The reaction by Ricky Manning. It's 14-3, Carolina.
$16 million people will come to WebMD this month. Some will learn about a condition or a diagnosis. Others will chat with experts. Many will simply decide when to visit a doctor. We'll help them all to navigate WebMD's wealth of medically reviewed information to find exactly what they need. Americans may have thousands of different questions about their health, but now they have a single place to find the answers.
Cialis is here. Are you ready? Introducing Cialis. Ask your doctor if a free sample of Cialis is right for you. New Cialis. Cialis is here. Are you ready?
Cracked cranium. $10 copay.
Aye, aye. Aye, aye. Aye, aye. Aye, aye.
Bruised cornea. $10 copay.
Okay.
Dislocated jaw. Fractured wrist. Mild concussion. $10 copay. No hurt feelings.
I'm poisoned.
Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Accepted by optometrists, neurologists, and orthopedists.
Ricky Manning, a 5'8" corner. They drafted him thinking he would be a very solid number 3 corner. He has stepped into the starting lineup, taking the place of Terry Cousin, and he may win defensively a championship for the Carolina Panthers with what he did a week ago in St. Louis. 3 interceptions here tonight, and it's more than being in the right place at the right time. He's fought for a couple of those picks, and then Deshaun Foster good enough to get it into the end zone. And now Manning, just to complete his long night here in Philadelphia, is again going to hold as the wind is knocking the ball off the tee for John Casey.
Well, one of the reasons why Ricky Manning was able to keep his job when Terry Cousins got hurt was because he showed an ability to make plays around the football, and never was that more true than in these last 2 games.
Philly should end up with good field position. Out of bounds at the 38. Nothing says hard-nosed, fighting January football like the music of James Taylor. Trying to turn this night into a trip to Houston, leading 14-3.
Can't you see the sunshine?
Did we make a beer with half the carbs of Bud Light taste good? No. We made it taste great. Miller Lite. Great taste. Less filling.
One day you wake up and find a few hairs on your pillow. Next day, they're dribbling your head down the court.
Get new V for Men Thickening Shampoo for up to 50% thicker looking hair for better scalp coverage. New V for Men by L'Oreal Paris.
Rich Eisen hosts NFL Total Access.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American Revolution.
Donovan McNabb may be hurting, but still able to laugh and have a little fun with a former teammate. The pressure is now squarely on his shoulders to start making plays.
14-3, Carolina. Four-man rush out of the backfield. Buckhalter. Out across the 41. Again, it's Pam Oliver.
Hey, Joe, I think the urgency of this matter is starting to kick in for Philadelphia. Their emotional leader, Brian Dawkins, just went down the line to a bunch of guys seated on the bench. He got in their faces, pointed his finger, and said, let's go, let's go, let's go, to about a half dozen guys. Joe?
Well, right now, he is on the sideline hoping that his offense, led by Donovan McNabb, same team that trailed at 1 point last week, 14-3, and get it going. 2nd down and 7. Staley, good pressure with that front four, and Staley just wouldn't go down. Out to the 46, a gain of 5. And you're right, Chris, nobody runs with any more heart than number 22, Deuce Staley.
And they really slanted right into that play. It was a perfect call defensively. Everybody was moving that way at the snap of the ball. And somehow Deuce just kept spinning in 360 and just kept going and made something out of absolutely nothing. But the one thing I am a little surprised, though, we haven't seen more out of some of the tight ends for the Philadelphia Eagles. Last week, they were a major factor in getting Donovan McNabb on track, and so far today, not many balls thrown their way.
On 3rd down, McNabb over the middle, another drop, and there's your tight end. It's Chad Lewis.
Well, maybe
penalty flag comes in at the end of the play.
Maybe that's why they don't throw to him.
It's a hold against Philadelphia. That'll bring up 4th down.
Holding. 72 offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
I know we talked about it coming in, Joe. You just wonder how a team's going to respond like Philadelphia when they get behind, when they have pressure. We see Trey Thomas as he holds Mike Rucker coming around the edge. But this team right now, we saw Brian Dawkins on the sidelines trying to get the team motivated. But clearly, they are facing a great deal of pressure now.
Dirk Johnson on to punt. Good punt. No doubt this is with the wind as we play the rest of this 2nd half. Everything the Eagles can do, but it's still into the end zone, and Carolina will have it at their own 20. It's all on the shoulders of Donovan McNabb. A frustrating night so far. A quarter plus left. 14-3, Panthers.
Bo.
I knew it. You've been in there since I was 6.
Prove it.
I'll prove it. How about a picture?
You know that camera phone thing's too complicated. Just shut the door, and we'll get back to our regular routine.
Here he is. Here. Sprint made picture mail right. It's easy to take and send pictures anywhere on their complete wireless network because they built it from the ground up. Mystery solved.
Now get 2 PCS Vision picture phones for $149.98. PCS from Sprint.
Every Sunday, these bold warriors meet in a quest for glory. Proud gladiators whose game is equal parts preparation and passion. When men become myths and moments become legend. The game is tailgating. The cola is Pepsi. It's the cola.
I try to manage risk by avoiding danger.
For anyone who likes to play it safe. This winter, life's about to get interesting. Ben Stiller, Jennifer Aniston, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Deborah Messing, Hank Azaria, and Alec Baldwin.
Good things.
Along came Polly, rated PG-13, now playing.
Sunday, February 1st, college football's ultimate skills competition returns to Fox. The Capital One College Football All-Star Challenge with Heisman Trophy finalist Chris Perry and some of college's top players going head-to-head. Find out who has what it takes to be named one of the most coveted lists in all of sports. As Howie Long announces his Tough Guys, presented by the new Ford F-150. It all begins Sunday, February 1st at 12 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific here on Fox. The offensive line is not allowed a sack today. Carolina defense has racked up 4. They stay on the ground, and they give it to Stephen Davis. Rayburn is in on the stop, and Davis is out to the 24.
You know, this offensive line really has, Joe, done a tremendous job, not only in this ball game, but all season long. And they've got a couple different players, you know, from where they were a year ago. Of course, Geno James, who was the annual backup, he comes in at left guard, and they draft Jordan Gross. But these guys are extremely athletic, and Mike Mazur, their offensive line coach, has done a tremendous job of getting this team to play as a unit, and they're having another big game here.
They deserve the credit. 26 sacks allowed, over 2,000 rushing yards this season. Second down. Davis just fell down. We have gone too long, guys, without talking about the job John Fox has done. I mean, this was a franchise that 2 years ago was 1-15. They were completely flat. They had nothing going. His first year, they're 7-9, and this year 11-5, and with a lead in the NFC Championship game.
And the thing that he did more than anything else was he rebuilt a defense that was horrendous, turned them into the #2 defense in football, then came back this year and rebuilt the offense with Jake Delhomme and Stephen Davis and drafting Jordan Gross. Amazing to turn around in just 2 years.
Third down and 6. Blitz. Fourth down. Taylor was coming on a blitz, and Delhomme just basically threw it away.
Yeah, good decision there by Jake Delhomme of recognizing there was nothing there. He was getting pressure. Don't take a chance backed up in your own side of the field. Just throw it away. A punt is not a bad thing.
And Ike Reese is playing a tremendous game. He read that one all the way, had the coverage on the outside, and gave Jake nowhere to throw the football.
Reno Mahe waiting for the punt from Sauerbrunn into the wind. It's a line drive, and Reno will let her roll. Out of bounds across the 35. They'll mark it at the 37. And this crowd is trying somehow to get behind their offense. Teams that have lost 3 straight conference championship games. Late 60s with the Raiders. 73, 74, 75 for the Raiders. 74, 75, 76 for the Rams. 80, 81, 82 for the Dallas Cowboys.
But, you know, I've seen an awful lot of magic out of this Philadelphia Eagles team. We saw it in Monday night in Green Bay. We saw it in the playoff game last week. They were down 14-0. Donovan McNabb, bad rib or not, is not finished.
Under a minute to go, third quarter. Buchalter cuts it up to the 40. Donovan McNabb missing 6 games last year with a broken fibula. Coming back, getting into the NFC Championship game. And all that's remembered from that game and that 27-10 loss was the 92-yard interception return for a touchdown by Rondé Barber. This year, he injured his thumb, played for a month with a wrap on that thumb, and when he took that wrap off, October 26th against the Jets, his numbers in this offense jumped. Second and 7. McNabb throws behind Thrash.
Wow. I think these receivers are shook up. They just are not playing very aggressively at all. Remember, it was Thrash that took the huge hit from Mike Minter, and they just aren't making very bold moves towards the football.
Well, you see the throw, Chris. It wasn't a real good throw. Donovan had to slide in the pocket. Thrash expecting the ball out in front. Donovan throwing it behind him. But right now, I think there's no question that whatever injury he has suffered to his ribs, it is affecting him in the pocket, both handing the ball off as well as getting comfortable within it to make the throws.
Blitz coming. McNabb all day. Over the middle, incomplete. Staley, the intended receiver, and again McNabb ends up on his back. Gerard Cooper, an outstanding special teams player, is the one on top.
Well, he got hit again. He got put on his back after this play, and you can tell he's just not comfortable with what he's seeing right now. And then he takes the hit right to the ribs. You see him slowly get up. There's no question that it's affected him, but Donovan, in spite of that, he's just not been able to get comfortable. He's not been able to see what the defense is doing to him and then deliver passes.
But, you know, Troy, how long was he back there? He was back there 5 or 6 seconds, and still nobody opened down the field.
Ugly punt from Dirk Johnson that will sport out of bounds at the 27. It took forever for McNabb to get off the field after another failed attempt. The defense for Carolina has been outstanding, laying the lumber to these Philadelphia Eagles. We're through 3 quarters, and it's 14-3 Carolina.
NASCAR on Fox.
The trail-rated Jeep Liberty with an available 210 horsepower engine. Because out here, 0 to 20 can be more important than 0 to 60.
Announcing Zero Plus. Right now, get 0% financing plus a $2,000 cash allowance. Plus, get our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's 0% financing plus a $2,000 cash allowance. But it's only at your Jeep dealer.
Every year, U.S. News and World Report carefully researches and then names America's best hospitals. And which Charlotte area hospital made the list? 4 times. Carolinas Medical Center. And who else in the region was named by that respected publication? That's right. There were no others. Why would you go anywhere else?
Mom, this Town and Country is really nice. Isn't it? Remember your first minivan? You loved that thing. Chrysler had just introduced them. So did I tell you we're getting one? Oh. What, with 2 kids and all? 2? Oh. Really? Yes.
Expecting more? Check out Town & Country, America's best-selling luxury minivan ever. Plus, get a groundbreaking offer, announcing Zero Plus. Now get 0% financing plus $3,000 in combined cash allowances, plus our 770 powertrain limited warranty. See your Chrysler dealer today.
A special Fox News Got Game tonight following Fox News after the game.
14-3 after 3 quarters of play in Philadelphia. Carolina on top, and you have to wonder how much more they will go with Donovan McNabb. Just in so much pain, and Detmer has been warming up during the entire break. That might be all for Donovan McNabb. Who knows, but he certainly hasn't been effective.
Yeah, he went over and he talked to Donovan McNabb, and he got the word and basically ran over to start getting loose. And I think that last shot has finally finished Donovan McNabb. And this is just a whooping so far. Now, there's no other way to put it. The Carolina Panthers just laying the lumber to the Philadelphia Eagles, their receivers, their quarterback, physically beating this team up.
Deshaun Foster, hit by Taylor, gets away. Foster's had another good game on the heels of picking up the slack for the injured Stephen Davis a week ago. And we talked about John Fox and the job that he's done here. I think you can clearly see coming into the season, most people pick Carolina to end up last in their division. You heard so much about Tampa, even New Orleans, obviously Atlanta with Vic before he went down, and now here's Carolina 1 quarter away from it all.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. I think even after they beat St. Louis last week, coming into this game, there's a lot of people who have not given them their due and thinking that they could come in here and win this ball game. But even if they go with Koy Detmer, these wide receivers for Philadelphia are going to have to start getting off the jam.
And there's Steve Smith doing what the Eagle receivers have not done. Ball pops out. That's a fumble. And Philadelphia has it.
Well, for all the fighting that this team has done, and Steve Smith does with the ball, that time he fights a little too long, and the ball gets ripped out of his hands. It was a great route. He got off the jam, runs a slant, makes about 4 people miss going across the field. And then just by fighting for a little bit of extra yardage, and his knee could have been down on that one, Troy. It was pretty close.
Challenge flag.
It's out. They just threw the red flag out.
So John Fox wants Bernie Kukar to take another look.
The question is, though, Chris, it looked like the ball may have been coming out prior to his knee going to the ground, and if that is the case, then it will be ruled a fumble. Can't see there exactly where the ball
Carolina is challenging the ruling on the field of a
Certainly
fumble.
looked like his left knee was down. He was basically walking on his knees as that ball was still in his left arm.
Yeah, I know what Troy was saying, though. If it's starting to move before the knee hits, see, the elbow is in there now, but it's not out, but it is moving a little bit. Now it's just hard to tell when that knee's down. I think that is down by contact. Boy, another break for the Carolina Panthers, as if they needed something else to go their way today. I think they're going to get the ball back again.
I'm sure John Fox by now has word from above that they've got a better than average chance at getting that call on the field overturned.
And he just about didn't get the flag out in time to challenge it. Philadelphia getting out onto the field, hustling onto the field, trying to get the ball snapped to keep them from getting the ball, or keeping them from getting a chance to challenge the call.
And Coy Detmer is on the field, so if it's the Philadelphia Eagles ball, then he will be the quarterback when they come back. And you have to remember what Coy Detmer did in really his only game last year. Remember coming in, I think it was a Monday night game against San Francisco, a game the Eagles absolutely had to win, and he was brilliant. He was as good as any quarterback we had seen that season, and then ended up injuring his elbow, dislocating his elbow late in that game.
They show the replay of it on the big screen, the scoreboard here at Lincoln Financial Field, and even these fans can't cheer for it. Getting a real good look of that left knee being down and Smith still having possession of the football. Now this is either a first down for Carolina at their own 46, or if the call stands, it's first down for the Eagles at the Carolina 43. And we'll find out here in a couple of seconds.
After reviewing the play, the runner's knee was down by contact. First down, Carolina at the 45-yard line.
You think these Philadelphia fans like instant replay?
No, not at the moment.
They can't even argue too much.
So it's first down, 14:06 remaining in the fourth quarter, and the ball is up. They put it at the 45. We had it at the 46. Either way, great field position for Carolina with a fresh set of downs.
And clearly turnovers, the story of this one so far, as the Panthers have done all season, or at least all through the playoffs, not turning the ball over has been the difference.
Handoff is to Foster. He has a fumble tonight, but the Panthers recovered it. The Eagles have been plus 11 in the turnover ratio the last 15 games, but tonight 3 Eagles turnovers on the interceptions by Manning, and none so far for Carolina.
Yeah, then that's what Carolina has done in these playoff games. They've done a great job. They came into the playoff with a -5 turnover ratio in the regular season. They were +4 coming into this game, so they've done a very nice job protecting the ball and creating turnovers, and that's why they've been able to win games.
It's all set up for Carolina. They've got the 2-score lead. They've got good field position, and they've got the running game against an Eagles team that struggles defending the run. Davis is 2 yards shy of the first down.
And I'm a little surprised right now, Chris, that the Eagles are not coming with any kind of pressure. I know that they're expecting them to run the football, but at the same time, you got to start trying to force the issue a little bit, try to wreak a little bit of havoc in the backfield, create some turnovers. But right now, if you continue to let Carolina just methodically drive the football, you're going to have a hard time stopping them.
I think they're a little bit afraid of their outside running game. That's where they really got burned in the first matchup. Maybe afraid to bring pressure right down the gut, that they'll get out around them.
3rd and 2. A pitch to Foster. What a play. First down, Carolina. So now they do go outside, and Dan Henning, the offensive coordinator, who's had a tremendous year, calls the play that picks up a huge Carolina first down.
Yeah, and N.D. Kalu, the defensive end, he's going to collapse down on the ball right here, the defensive end. He comes down hard, and there's no linebacker scraping. Nate Wayne trying to get out there in time in order to make the play to keep him from getting the first down. But, boy, you start getting overly aggressive, trying to come down the line and tackle Deshaun Foster. Next thing you know, he's out on the edge.
Eagles cannot give up a touchdown here. They have to at least hold to a field goal.
Toss to Davis, running with his bad left quad. He's down to the 32, a gain of 2.
The good thing about the injury that Stephen Davis has is it really only impacts you, and I've had that hip flexor thing before, really only impacts you when you're going full out. And for a guy like Davis, he's much more of a sort of a power, find your hole, lower your shoulder kind of a guy. So I haven't seen it really impact him so much today.
Is there any injury you haven't had?
I've had them all, brother. Anything you want to name.
You've had rib injuries and hip flexors.
Ever tell you about my hamstring?
Tell me a commercial break.
Well, we're about to have one because Carolina's going to take a timeout. They let it wind down. 11:05 remaining in regulation. You have to say regulation these days in the NFL playoffs. 14-3. Panthers out in front.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Mazda. There's a soul of a sports car in everything we make. By HP. Discover how HP technology helps make more things more possible. By Sprint. Proudly offering picture mail and PCS Vision picture phones. And by MGM's Barbershop 2. The barbershop is back in business. Rated PG-13.
14-3 Carolina. 11:05 left. See, Donovan McNabb just needs help to get up off the bench. He's finished. 2nd down and 8. Davis got hit right at the line, got to the 30. And we look back on this game with Carolina coming in off their win in St. Louis. First points, 24-yard touchdown throw to Muhammad. Here's the hit that hurt the ribs of Donovan McNabb by Greg Favors. The hit by Minter, the 3rd interception by Ricky Manning. And then his teammate Deshaun Foster wouldn't quit, kept plowing into the end zone. It's 14-3. 3rd and 6.
Play of the game right here. Really need a stop to keep it to a 2-score game.
Blitz. Davis hit in the backfield. Goes nowhere. Semino came through first as the Eagles finally did bring that blitz, and that brings up 4th down.
As much as an all-out blitz as you will see, Mark Semino going to come right here up through the middle, and the pulling guard is going to get driven right back into the running back and disrupt the play.
Well, and it kept Carolina from having an opportunity to try to kick a field goal. That was the idea. Run the ball, try to pick up a few more yards. If not the first down, now they're forced to punt.
Carolina Panthers did this to Philadelphia in the first quarter. Now Philadelphia returns the favor. So the punt from Sauerbrunn. Phenomenal punt. And that ball will be marked down at the 9, even though it looked like it was going out of bounds. It didn't look like Cooper, who was down there, was willing to let it take another bounce.
Interesting to see whether or not the guy that downed the football reestablished himself back into the field of play. Got to have 2 feet inbounds, and I don't think that he did. I think this is going to end up coming back to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it's Jared Cooper, and the shame of it is that he really didn't even have to touch the ball. The ball was running parallel to the goal line. They had a tremendous bounce on the play. Cooper goes into the end zone, comes out, does not have to touch the ball. He does. And now I've got to believe that ball's coming out to the 20-yard line.
You have to get both feet down, just like a receiver on the boundary. You can go in, that's okay, but now you have to get both feet back in before you touch the football. He's on the line there.
Just before that right foot came down, the left foot was down.
And remember, the end line is in the end zone.
It's an illegal touch at about the 8-yard line, right at the 8-yard line. That'll be first down, Philadelphia.
So that means on the field, they have called that Gerard Cooper did establish himself back in the field of play. The replay shows differently. We could have a challenge when we come back.
The
the barber shop is open for business.
Just a little off the top. Oh.
But when the competition moves in, they'll have to fight back.
Double my rent. You don't pay no rent. Well, in that case, triple it.
Ice Cube, Cedric the Entertainer.
What Calvin needs you to do is get up off your fat butt and cut some hair.
Barbershop back in business.
Yeah, you gonna talk about that when you one Reese's Pieces away from Jenny Craig yourself.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, February 6th.
A change might be all you need to stay in a game. If what you're doing now isn't working, do what I did. Talk to your doctor about Levitra.
Ask your doctor if a free sample is right for you. Levitra. Stay in the game.
The praise that Mazda 6 has received for applying sports car engineering to a sedan will appeal to all sorts of people. For the safety conscious, the highest government safety rating. For the consumer-minded, the highest-rated midsize sedan among owners, and 50 international awards for the speed readers. The Mazda 6. Lease a new 2004 Mazda 6i for $219 a month for 48 months with $25.19 due at lease signing.
It's the American Idol play of the day. Let's get right to the action. Today, rookie number 30218 is going up against Simon, the Killer Cow. Let's go down to the field. He's starting strong. Ooh, could be an off-key foul. Is Cow gonna sack him?
Ghastly. Was it like a scene from The Exorcist?
Ouch! That's gotta hurt. Catch an all-new season of American Idol beginning at 8/7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Well, a lot unfolds before us. First of all, Coy Detmer is in at quarterback. Secondly, the Philadelphia Eagles will not spend their final challenge to challenge the ruling on the field in the spot of the football. They've marked it at the 8 instead of taking it at the 20. It is a reviewable play. Gerard Cooper did have to get both feet back into the field of play. It all is a moot point now because a play has been run, and instead of taking it at the 20, the Eagles were content with it at their own 8.
Well, and you kind of wonder why the Eagles chose not to challenge this call, because clearly it would have been ruled in their favor. There's no question that Jared Cooper does not get both feet in the field of play and reestablish himself. They would have had the ball on the 20-yard line.
Essentially a 13-yard non-challenge.
Blitz. Detmer flips it forward to an ineligible receiver. That's Bobby Williams. And a guy who threw only 5 passes during the regular season, Coy Detmer, is the guy in charge of trying to lead this Eagles comeback.
Yeah, ineligible man, Bobby Williams, touching the ball. Obviously can't do that. And then you just got to kind of wonder about Coy Detmer and how much work does he get during the week of practice leading up to a ball game. Typically, the backup quarterback does not get any reps, and he hasn't played basically all season long.
Yeah, but I don't really blame Coy Detmer for throwing it to Bobby Williams the way these other receivers have been playing out here. Well, give somebody else a shot. I would too.
He got a little separation, didn't he?
Yeah. We've been sitting over there watching these guys getting beat up all game long.
There are 2 fouls on this play. Hands to the face on top of it with a defense.
Touching number 66 offense. We got illegal hands to the face, 21 defense. Those penalties offset. Second down.
So there's a break for Philadelphia. They get Cousin again.
Yeah, they get him again. They got him earlier in the game. You're right, Joe, against Freddie Mitchell's. We're going to see. Well, I'll tell you what, I didn't see anything.
Well, at no time can you, quote-unquote, jam a receiver up to the face. And in the estimation of this officiating crew, that crossed the line. So instead of a long 3rd down, it's 2nd down again for Philadelphia. And they run it with Buckhalter. And Buckhalter has a Philadelphia 1st down.
But now, a minute later, and the clock's still running, they're back to where they would have been had they challenged the play.
Well, that, and they've got to be careful. They cannot continually run the football. That's what I say. These wide receivers, they've got to step up. One of them has got to be able to make a play. Coy Detmer's going to have to find one of them, but they are going to run out of time if they think they're going to be able to drive this ball twice running the football.
Detmer fires, and the pass caught by Mitchell. 1st down, Philadelphia, after the 32.
And that's probably the guy they should be working more. I mean, they're going to their cover 2 man, so the corners are getting safety help on the outside. Terry Cousin is locked up one-on-one with Freddie Mitchell, and Freddie Mitchell's been one of the few guys for this offense that's been able to make plays.
A little hurry-up approach by Philadelphia. Staley with a penalty flag coming in at the end of the play, gets it up to the 35. The Eagles indicate it's against Carolina. Ooh. Face mask, and it's the personal foul variety, 15 yards.
Personal foul, grabbing and pulling on the face mask. 30 of the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
That takes it all the way up to midfield.
Good call, too, by the officials. And, Troy, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles need to get some different guys in this ball game. I would put James Thrash on the bench. He's not very good against bump and run. Maybe get Greg Lewis in the game. Maybe even a Reno Mahe, a very quick wide receiver type. Let him try and make some plays against
another blitz, and Pinkston was looking for it late. A penalty flag comes in, covered by Howard. This could go either way, and it's against Philadelphia. Pinkston did not get his head around.
And that's a good call, too, Joe. You're going to see, again, locked up, one-on-one, Reggie Howard. And Reggie Howard has a chance to come down with this ball on an interception. Todd Pinkston really did about all he could do to try to break up what would have been an interception.
Certainly wasn't a ton of contact, and while Howard popped up shocked there was a flag, thinking it might be on him, Pinkston didn't do a whole lot to warrant offensive pass interference.
Well, how much confidence does John Fox and Mike Turkenbach have in these defensive backs, in that here they are with 7.5 minutes in the game, up 14-3, and they're still locking up one-on-one on the outside.
Handoff is to Staley, doing all he can, but now second down and long after a gain of 4, and this crowd saying, let's go.
And they're right. But, you know, for the Carolina Panthers defensively, think about it. In the playoffs, they shut down the Dallas Cowboys receivers, and they have 3 good players. Then they go in against the St. Louis Rams and do a good job there. Compared to those 2 teams, the receivers on the Eagles are not even in the same ballpark.
Second down and 16. Detmer looking right, fires. Thrash cannot adjust to it. And who's on him? Ricky Manning, who has had an all-world night.
They tried throwing the fade stop on the back shoulder of James Thrash because they cannot get down the field on these guys. Ricky Manning, again, locking up over the top. Boyd Detmer trying to throw it on his back shoulder. And you can just see the confidence that these guys are playing with. Ricky Manning having an outstanding game today.
And what do they say? It ain't bragging if you back it up. And Ricky Manning said that these Eagles receivers were no match for him, and he has been absolutely right.
Third down and 16. 2 for 10 on third down tonight of the Eagles. Detmer needs a big throw. Guides it. Pass is caught. Lewis wrestled down shy of a first down, but it certainly makes the decision a lot easier to go for it on fourth down. The ball is inside Carolina territory at the 42. They need 2 yards.
Yeah, there's no decision to be made here. They're going for it.
I think they're going to burn one of their timeouts, though. I don't know about that either.
2 timeouts remaining. Fourth down and 2 for the Eagles when we come back.
There's a feeling in my heart that I can't explain. Is this love? The look in your eyes I just can't explain. Is this love? I lose myself after pain. So tomorrow, will you feel the same? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love?
Yo, Pete! Check it out, man. I'm so ready for the game. And chips, dips, this sub's bigger than your head. You ready for the game? Yeah, you could say that.
Get ready for the game at Gateway. Our plasma is the #1 selling in the country because of people who have more brains than money. They start at under $2,500 after purchase of wall mount kit and mail-in rebate. Get into Gateway now for 0% financing on select plasmas.
with its available Power Stroke diesel and 5-speed automatic torque shift transmission. The Ford F-Series Super Duty has the most torque and horsepower of any diesel pickup. Ford F-Series Super Duty. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by the next Ford F-150, 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
They've been talking all week around here about a 4th and 26 a week ago against the Green Bay Packers. It's 4th down and 2. And Coy Detmer is the guy trying to help these Eagles pick up a fresh set of downs as they trail by 11. Detmer fires wide open as Lewis, the tight end. Chad Lewis, a leap out of bounds with a first down at the 18.
Like the Eagles were trying to create a pick situation over on the outside for Chad Lewis. They were with the bunch formation at the top. Lewis going in motion and then jumping back to the outside, and maybe even his guy blitz. It looked like Dan Morgan coming on the blitz may have been responsible for covering on the outside.
There's no question one of the 2 linebackers that came was responsible for Chad Lewis. Again, they're under the impression that Chad Lewis is going to stay in and block.
First down, Philadelphia. Detmer dumps it off incomplete. Cousin. Jerry Cousin, the player who got his hands on it. So far, when the Eagles have the ball, the leading receiver has been Ricky Manning. He has 3 receptions, interceptions for Carolina. Staley has 3 and Mitchell has 3. That's it. Nobody has stepped up in the receiving corps for the Eagles.
Well, and the big thing right now, because of that 4th down conversion, the Eagles have gotten themselves in field goal range. So if nothing else on this drive, if they're able to make it 14-6, it then becomes a 1-possession game.
Greg Lewis is in the game. Detmer fires. Pass is complete. Mitchell wasn't touched, so he gets up and gets a couple extra yards, and more importantly, gets out of bounds.
Boy, we've just seen so many games with the Philadelphia Eagles where you think it's over, you think it's done, and it's not. And they come with a corner blitz there. Nice read that time by Coy Detmer to be able to get up and get that play out of bounds.
Third down. Detmer over the middle, intercepted. Another interception for this Carolina defense, and the guy who has been working so hard in the middle, Dan Morgan, comes away with it. He did not have one the entire season. And with 5:16 remaining, the Carolina Panthers take over and may ride to Houston for the Super Bowl because of this.
Well, Shane Burton gets pressure on Donovan McNabb, and he tries forcing it in there, and Dan Morgan right there to make the interception.
12 tackles and a pick for Dan Morgan.
Ford Expedition, the first to introduce all of the firsts. First-in-class safety canopy system, first-in-class independent rear suspension, first in its class for cargo room. And Ford Expedition is the first and only full-size SUV with the powerful third-row seat. Ford Expedition, the full-size SUV that's full of firsts. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Low-carb diet, huh?
We were on this low-carb diet together.
You're the cheater. I saw you at Subway ordering my sandwich.
It's okay. It's a new Atkins carb-controlled wrap.
Introducing the new Atkins-friendly chicken bacon ranch and turkey and bacon melt wraps. 2 great new tastes from Subway with under 11 net carbs.
You ate the kids' art project.
Subway. Good. So you don't always have to be.
Cheryl acts like she doesn't even know that Alan likes her. But Veronica said Cheryl was flirting with him, and I completely understand and know where Veronica's coming from.
Well, her night minutes don't start until 9, so she talks to us for another...
They're kissing and hugging and stuff.
Oh.
Guess what? A few weeks ago, rumors going around that I like Tim, and everybody was
Here.
like, you right?
With Sprint, unlimited night minutes start at 7 instead of 9. And they're the ones who built their network from the ground up, and they built it right.
2 more hours? How'd you guys do it?
Yeah.
We just turned back time.
Now with Sprint, on any new service plan, you can get 2 more hours of weeknight calling.
4 turnovers by Philadelphia, 3 interceptions by Manning, and 1 by Morgan, who has just been flat out worn out in the middle. 12 tackles, an interception, and he hands the ball back to his offense, and Jake Delhomme toss to Davis. And Davis, a terrific move by just basically laying down and staying inbounds.
Remember, the situation was 3rd and 3, and Deuce Staley, instead of hooking this up right in front of Dan Morgan, decides to ad-lib a route just like Todd Pinkston did earlier in the game, and it's going to cost another Eagles quarterback another interception. I don't know what these Eagles receivers are doing out here today, but they are really screwing up this game.
Now it comes down to this Eagles defense. Clearly they know what they're going to get. They're going to get a heavy dose of run and only run as Carolina tries to milk this clock down.
Davis stays in there, 1,400 yards during the regular season. More sure-handed with a football. A gain of 2, and the Eagles have to spend their second timeout. They trail by 11. Fox tomorrow, the phenomenon that changed music and television forever, returns for its 3rd season. Be there when American Idol takes the first look at some of the very best and some of the very worst. American Idol, an all-new season beginning tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on Fox.
I'll tell you what this game reminds me of is when the New England Patriots played the St. Louis Rams in the Super Bowl. They went out and they got incredibly physical with the wide receivers, beat them up at the line of scrimmage. When they had an opportunity, delivered a knockout blow down the field with a big hit, and it just seemed to intimidate the Rams a little bit. Of course, they did come back late in that game, got a few things going, but the physical presence of these cornerbacks and safeties of the Carolina Panthers and this much maligned secondary clearly has been the difference in this game.
2nd down and 8. Toss to Davis. And the Eagles spend their final timeout. 3rd down coming up for Carolina. You look at the combination of Peyton Manning and Ricky Manning. Peyton threw 4 interceptions for that terrific New England defense. 24-14 victory, and Ricky 3 interceptions tonight after setting up the game-winning drive with an interception at the end of the first overtime last week in St. Louis. We know that the New England Patriots are in the Super Bowl again. They took a year off, but they're back. Belichick looked ticked. What a job he has done with that defense, with that entire team, and Tom Brady still probably doesn't get the credit he deserves as a top-flight quarterback is back in the Super Bowl in Houston in 2 weeks.
Well, he'll get all the credit he deserves. He goes out and he wins another Super Bowl this year, and another guy that's going to get a lot of credit as well, finally, is Jake Delhomme. They go on to win this ball game, and every week it seems like people want to put the pressure on him and want to wait and see if he's going to deliver. And for the most part, each and every week he has.
3rd down and 6. The Eagles desperately need a stop. Out of timeouts. Davis. The Eagles force a punt. Jake Delhomme told us early in the season, I'm sure no defensive coordinator has ever come into a game with us and said we need to stop 17. That's Jake Delhomme's number. That may change because this guy and the passing game is a lot better than it gets credit for with Carolina.
Well, Jim Johnson did come into this game and say, he didn't say we need to stop Jake Delhomme, but what he did say is we need to stop Steve Smith. So he clearly recognized what these Carolina Panthers had been able to do over recent weeks throwing the football.
Lito Shepard is waiting for this punt from Sauerbrunn. Shepard on the move back from the 10. Eagles need a good one, another fumble. Philadelphia back on top of it. Quentin Michael was there to fall on top. And the Eagles will have it inside their own 20, needing 2 scores, no timeouts, and under 3.5 minutes to play.
You know, to follow up on what you were talking about, Chris, about these defensive backs, and you know, they were so maligned throughout the season and that they couldn't hold up their end. There was so much talk about the front 7 and them being the strength of this defense, and you look over the last 6-7 ball games where this secondary has come and the job that they have done. There's no question, particularly today, that they are the reason that they've been able to win this football game, assuming they go on to do that as much as this front 7 for this defense.
Detmer has time down the middle behind Freddie Mitchell. You think about the secondary guys. Terry Cousin released twice, waived once. Reggie Howard was released once, waived once. But they had that difference maker, the rookie Manning, slip into the starting lineup. And that group as a whole, with a very good safety combination, especially with Minter, has been outstanding.
Well, their safety combination, you're right. They've been strong all season long, and it was just a matter of those corners starting to develop and mature, and they've done that, and John Fox showed confidence in them again in this game.
Detmer off his back foot, throws, and the pass dropped. Kingston again, and now a penalty flag comes in very late. It'll be a hold, so an automatic first down and 5-yard penalty.
And I guarantee you somebody on the Eagles side is saying, finally, these guys have been mauling us all day long. We finally do get a call, but this is the playoffs, and that's the way it's going to be called.
24 defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Would have been the 6th drop of this game by the Eagle receivers.
I guess.
So a first down, but the ball is at the 24-yard line. And only 3:15 on the clock. Corey Detmer to Staley. More physical play from this Carolina defense. It'll be second down.
And there's probably people at home wondering why they're doing play action. There's no question they're not going to run the football here, but that gives them the best protection. And even having said that, Boy Detmer has still got people in his face.
Over the middle again. Wide open is Lewis, and he's down inside the 45.
You know, it's so amazing that that was where they thought they could take advantage of this Carolina defense, over the middle of the ball, working against the linebackers, and they just never did it this entire ball game. Maybe they'll try and focus there now.
2.5 to play. Blitz. Detmer's hit as he let it go, and Pinkston, with the umpire in his way, drops it.
Now Pinkston's going to blame the umpire.
You know, well, got to blame somebody, I guess. I mean, Boy Detmer is back here again. They bring pressure and expose these defensive backs, and Boy does a great job of just getting the ball out. It's blocked, apparently. Todd Pinkston can't see the ball coming because he's running behind the umpire there. Boy, everything that can go wrong for this Eagles team so far has gone wrong.
So there is drop number 6, second down and 10, 2:23 to go. Blitz again. The Panthers are not laying back, and they get another sack at midfield. They keep coming, and they keep getting home. A loss of 8, and the 5th sack of the night.
Joe, this is really amazing what John Fox and Mike Turkovac, the defensive coordinator, are doing. You're going to see the safety here coming all the way up on the blitz, and they're just bringing everybody. They're not worried about the Eagles hitting anybody down the field. They're not playing conservative. They've stuck to their game plan the entire day.
This could be the final play before the 2-minute warning, and it's an incompletion. Crowd wants a flag, so do the Eagles, and they won't get it. 2:04 remaining, and it's 4th down and 18.
And I think Freddie Mitchell's a little bit hurt, but what we're seeing now is whether it's a wide receiver working against a safety or what, these guys can't get open. There was as much open space in the middle of the field that time for Freddie Mitchell to work, and he is a wide receiver working against a safety, Deion Grant, and they still can't get open. So it's not just the corners that are blanketing these guys.
No team has ever lost home back-to-back conference championship games. The Eagles in danger. Here's another blitz. They're still coming. Pinkston. A leap. Incomplete. There are no penalty flags, and the Carolina Panthers will take over, and they are going to be headed to Super Bowl 38.
They'll just be able to take a knee and run this clock out, and it's absolutely amazing to me that down after down, you know what Carolina's going to bring, and Philadelphia couldn't block them up, and they couldn't get the ball to a receiver.
2-minute warning in Philadelphia. It's 14-3, Carolina.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by the next Ford F-150, 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
With its available Power Stroke diesel and 5-speed automatic torque shift transmission, the Ford F-Series Super Duty has the most torque and horsepower of any diesel pickup. Ford F-Series Super Duty. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Introducing Visa Extras for small business. It's kind of like finding free stuff at work. Enroll now, and when you use your Visa business card, qualifying purchases earn points for everything from office supplies to travel. Even select NFL tickets. Sign up at visa.com/Visa Extras.
Are you ready?
Channel. What station?
Don't forget to unplug your set.
How about that?
Sam Mills, it's got to be an emotional time over on that sideline. We talked about it earlier. Diagnosed with cancer in the small intestine in August. Linebackers coach. Was there late in his career, made his name with New Orleans. A classy guy, and he has persevered this season. He and Mark Fields diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease in August. The honorary captains. And Andy Reid knows this feeling all too well. It's 14-3 Carolina. Philadelphia without any timeouts remaining. And it appears that John Fox, in his time as defensive coordinator for the New York Giants and head coach with the Carolina Panthers, will up his record, guys, to 10-3, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles.
And you know, I'm sure New England's going to be favored in the Super Bowl, but think about what the Carolina Panthers have done now. They've scored 29 points against the #1 defense in football, the Dallas Cowboys. They go in and knock off the St. Louis Rams, who had won 14 in a row at home, and then they come in here and easily, physically manhandle the Philadelphia Eagles team in this stadium in the NFC Championship game, and they do it almost casually.
And how about Jake Delhomme? Jake Delhomme coming into this game when he was talking about the other quarterbacks, Donovan McNabb, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, all in the championship game. They asked him about it. He says, I'm the other guy. I want to get to where they're at. Well, tonight there's 30 starting quarterbacks sitting at home wanting to get to where Jake Delhomme's at, and that's Super Bowl 38.
The Carolina Panthers will be able to take their name off the list of NFC teams who never made it to the Super Bowl. Arizona, Detroit, New Orleans, Seattle. Carolina was on that list. They're on that list no more. And Chris, you mentioned it. We've learned from Danny Sheridan of USA Today that the Patriots will open as a 7-point favorite in the Super Bowl as they await their date in Houston with the Carolina Panthers.
I don't think that concerns the Carolina Panthers too much. They've been underdogs since day one, since they were down 17-0 on opening day against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just doesn't make any difference to these guys.
So John Fox and the Panthers come in to Philadelphia. And with Jake Delhomme calling the signals, handing off to Foster. and Stephen Davis with his efforts, the efforts of this defense. The Panthers are going to the Super Bowl, and let's go down to Pam Oliver.
They sure are going to the Super Bowl, Joe, and a large reason for it. Number 17 here, Jake Delhomme. What's up with that? You guys are going to the Super Bowl in Houston. You must be thrilled.
Yes, we are. You know, we played together as a team tonight. Defense played lights out. Offensively, we did a great job. The offensive line deserves all the credit in the world. I didn't get touched, but maybe once tonight. Steve and Deshaun, all the guys ran hard. It's a huge team win, and that's what this is about. You know, the Patriots are going. They're a great team, and we think we're a good team. You know, it'll be a tough matchup.
What are you thinking as you head into the Super Bowl? Your rags to riches story. The guys were retelling the story about being behind Kurt Warner and saying, Dad, I don't know if this, you know, if I can overtake this guy, but you did more than that. You took a hold of this team and you're taking him to Houston.
Well, it's nice that we're going. You know, I would love to do what Kurt Warner has done, and that's to win one. You know, that's the next goal. It's easier said than done. I'm gonna try not to think about the Patriots tonight, so I can at least get some sleep. I don't want to worry about that defense just yet. But this is just great. We're gonna enjoy this. This is unbelievable.
You're gonna need every soundbite you got in you for the Super Bowl, by the way. Let's go back upstairs to Joe.
Only 2 starts in his career coming into this season. Congratulations to Jerry Richardson and the Carolina Panthers. Jake Delhomme from Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, the Cajun, not only played well. He and the Panthers are going to the Super Bowl. Much more coming up after this break.